So this is question number 4. This is from the SAT number 10. This is the May 2017 QAS test. And let's jump in. So question 4 says, which choice best supports the conclusion that Chris, the Swede's son, reminds the narrator of the Swede? So for these types of questions, pretty straightforward. All we got to do is just look through the answer choices that they give us, A, B, C, and D. We're going to go back, we're going to look at the lines, and we're basically going to look for which lines tell us that Chris, who is the Swede's son, reminds the narrator of the Swede. So let's begin with 18 through 21. So that's going to be right here. A skinny, fair-haired boy of about 7 or 8 was walking alongside the Swede, a kid under a Mets cap pounding away at a first baseman's mitt that dangled, as had the Swede's, from his left hand. So this right here is describing, Chris is describing the Swede's son. It describes him as being skinny and fair-haired, and the Swede obviously has this long golden hair, so maybe there's a connection there. He's walking alongside the Swede, he's wearing his Mets cap, pounding away, etc. There's not too much that's making this connection between Chris and the Swede, or this reminding, except for this part here, which says that he was pounding away at a first baseman's mitt that had dangled, as had the Swede's, from his left hand. So this is basically saying that the narrator is remembering how the Swede would just basically have his mitt dangling, right? And this is basically what he sees Chris, his son, doing, so there's this little bit of reminding that's happening here. But let's look at the other answer choices too, to see if we're missing anything. So 46 through 47, we jump down here. It says, do you know that? I said to his son, your dad was our Hernandez. So this comes when the narrator basically makes a connection between the Swede and another famous baseball player, and said basically the Swede is our Hernandez. That's what he's comparing him to. And this right here doesn't tell us any indication that the narrator looks at Chris and thinks, wow, he reminds me of the Swede. So it's not a really good answer choice. We can get rid of that one. Then we have answer choice C, which is lines 48, and that is down here, 6, 7, 8. Hernandez is left-handed, he replied. So this is basically the son replying by saying, like, I don't really get it because Hernandez is left-handed, unlike my dad. But this is also a choice that doesn't really tell us anything about the narrator and the fact that the narrator is reminded of the Swede or by looking at Chris. So we get rid of C. Then we have D, which is lines 49 through 51, which basically is the narrator again responding to the same scene. He's like, that's the only difference. I said to the little literalist and put out my hand again to his father. Nice to see you, Swede. So here, one more time, there's really just no indication that the narrator is being reminded of the Swede by looking at Chris, and there's anything about Chris that reminds him of the Swede. So that's going to leave us with answer choice A, which does exactly what we want it to do. And it's this part right here, had the Swedes, which is going to make that reminding the most clear. So then we'll choose answer choice A for question